The book of Titus, written by the Apostle Paul, provides guidance to Titus, a trusted companion, on establishing order and sound doctrine within the churches of Crete. Paul emphasizes the importance of godly leadership, good works, and sound teaching in the Christian community. The letter teaches timeless lessons on leadership, practical Christian living, and the importance of maintaining a Christ-centered life. Titus, a Greek convert and Paul's trusted co-worker, was left in Crete to set things in order within the young churches. His mission was to appoint godly elders, establish sound doctrine, and address false teachings. Paul's instructions teach us the importance of strong, faithful leadership in the church, emphasizing that leaders must live lives above reproach and serve as examples of faith. In the first chapter, Paul outlines the necessary qualifications for church elders. Leaders must be blameless, faithful to their spouses, self-controlled, and known for good behavior. This teaches us that godly leadership is not just about teaching but also about living a life worthy of respect. Paul's standards for church leaders highlight the importance of character and integrity in those who lead God's people. Paul warns Titus about false teachers who were spreading dangerous doctrines. These teachers focused on myths and human commands rather than the truth of God's word. This teaches us the importance of discernment and the need to protect the church from misleading teachings. Paul emphasizes that leaders must encourage sound doctrine and correct those who oppose it, ensuring that the church remains rooted in the truth of the gospel. Paul instructs Titus to teach sound doctrine that is consistent with healthy Christian living. He addresses different groups: older men, older women, young men, and slaves, offering practical advice for each. This teaches us that sound doctrine goes beyond belief, it must also be reflected in our actions. Paul's message emphasizes the need for every believer to live in a way that honors God and reflects their faith to others. Throughout the letter, Paul stresses the importance of good works as evidence of a transformed life. While salvation is by grace, Paul reminds believers that their faith should result in good deeds. This teaches us the value of living a life of service, love, and kindness. Paul emphasizes that Christians must devote themselves to doing what is good, reflecting God's grace in their actions and being a positive influence in the world. In chapter 3, Paul highlights God's grace and the salvation available through Jesus Christ. He reminds believers that it is not by their own works but by God's mercy that they are saved. This teaches us the centrality of grace in the Christian life. Paul's message is clear: we are saved by grace through faith, and this salvation calls us to live lives that reflect the transformative power of God's love. Paul concludes by reminding Titus to avoid foolish controversies and to focus on what is profitable and uplifting. He urges the believers to devote themselves to good works and to live productive, godly lives. This teaches us that Christian living is about more than avoiding wrong, it's about actively doing good. Paul's final words encourage believers to stay focused on their mission, rooted in grace, and dedicated to making a positive impact in their communities. The book of Titus offers invaluable lessons on church leadership, sound doctrine, and the importance of living a godly life. Paul's instructions to Titus emphasize the need for integrity, discernment, and good works within the Christian community. Titus teaches us that the Christian faith is not just about belief but about living out those beliefs in our everyday actions. As we follow Paul's guidance, we are called to live lives that honor God, reflect His grace, and serve others. Thank you for exploring the teachings of the book of Titus with us. May this journey inspire you to live out your faith with integrity, pursue good works, and lead a life that reflects God's love. As we follow the example of Titus, let us remain faithful in both doctrine and action, serving God and others with grace, wisdom, and dedication.